Hi, I just thought I'd do a quick video to show what exactly precious metal clay looks like when you're working with it. It's to sort of prepare for a class that I'm hosting on this Saturday and just see if I could reach the people that'll be coming, and also just to give some people who might be curious about what this process looks like. So um, I'm going to take out about 10 grams of precious metal clay, and it comes in a packet, 10, 15, or 10, 25, 7. And it kind of depends on the size of the project you want to do, but for the classes I usually do between 10 and 20 grams so that people can have enough clay to make things that they love. So it comes out of the packet looking like this. It's a fine silver, 99.9 percent piece of clay or metal when it comes out of the kiln, which is really beautiful. It's a lovely color when it comes out. It's a little bit different than sterling, and it's really fun to work with. So what I do is I take it out. I have a Teflon sheet on the bottom to keep it from sticking. I have a roller here. I have two of these cards to sort of hold the clay so that it's at an even thickness throughout when it's rolled out, and that's just helpful in the way that it obviously centers in the kiln. If things are more evenly distributed, it will work better. So there's a binder in with this, and then there's a percentage of it that's clay metal that will, once fired, will sinter and turn into metal. It's a really fun process to witness. It's a little alchemical and fun. So you take your roller and you roll out your piece of clay that you have here. I'm going to plan to make today a pendant with a tree on it because I made something the other day that had a tree. I just love the way that it turned out. It was simple but elegant and beautiful. So I went through what I have, my options for stamps that I have. Sometimes you can do a little carving and give it a little bit more of a personalized touch. Sometimes it's just fun to add a stone, and I will likely add some stones today while we're together, and so you can see that process as well. When you use the stones, they have to be cubic zirconia or something that, like a sapphire, that can tolerate heat. You cannot fire diamonds or pearls or most natural stones because they can't tolerate that kind of heat. Some of them have water content, so they blow up in the kiln and that kind of thing. And it's easy to set stones after it comes out of the kiln, but that's a little bit more advanced than this class will be this weekend. So I'm going to take this tree. I like the shape of that tree, and I'm just going to take it and I give it a little bit of a push and a stamp right onto my metal clay. And when I remove it, you can kind of see this nice pattern that it has. It's really, it looks like this tree, which is what it's gonna obviously come out to, but I'm not really happy with it. I don't really love that. So the nice part about this is you can just change your mind, roll it back up. You've got a few minutes. It does dry out quickly, so you can't take all day to decide, but you have a good couple of turns before it dries out and becomes difficult to use. So I'll just go ahead and roll it out again. And we will get a nice even thickness here. And then this is the tree that I used the other day, and it was really beautiful when it came out of the kiln. So I'm going to go ahead and give that one a shot again. It just easily pulls off. And I don't know if you can really see that. I'll lift it up for you. When this fires, it looks really lovely. It really adds a nice bit of texture. The bigger one might be better too. I'm not going to make a piece that big today. So I like to use oval shapes or interesting shapes, and I have a few cutters here available for use. Aluminum cutters are fine to use quickly, but they react with the metal clay, so they're not something that you can sit things on or shape things with. Aluminum can be used really quickly and then removed. So as a stamp, I would just, or as a cutter, I would just pick the nice shape that I want. And I might try this fun shape because I didn't do a fun shape on the last one that I had. And then you just cut it out like you would cookie dough. And then you get this kind of fun dynamic shape that will add a lot, I think, of interest to it when it's hanging. So at this point, you kind of decide which direction do you want it to hang. Do you want to poke holes in it now so that you can easily hang a chain from it? Do you want to create a bail for it? Those are the kind of things that you start to think about as you're going through this process. And I like the way that this looks right now. I think what I would probably like to do is give it two side spots to hang from. And you just take a toothpick on this and just make a couple of holes evenly from the sides so that you have kind of a template anyway for what you're going to do when you get ready to hang it. So on the last one that I did, I put a stone kind of up in the corner of it, and I did like the way that that looked. It gave it kind of a moon type feeling to it. But this time I think I want to try something different, and I would like to do maybe a few just sparkles in the tree and give it a little bit of more interest in just some random spots here. And just, I usually use an odd number, and I think there might be a reason for that, but I don't have an actual logical reason for it. I just always choose like between 5 and 7, sometimes 3, and just add some real interest. So when you're adding a stone, you really need to have that thing in there. The girdle of the stone is the widest part at the top, when it's a faceted stone like this. This is, I think, a brilliant cut. Then you need to have the girdle down inside there pretty good. And by girdle, I mean that wide little ledge at the top of the stone. And they can be kind of fussy and tricky to get on here without dinging up your clay when you're working with them. But if you're patient, it will all work out fine. So I think the looks of this will be really a fun pendant. I think this will add a lot of interest where the tree has these nice little stones now in it. It will be interesting to look at. And a very kind of nice simplistic pendant, but one that has a lot of depth to it. A lot of people add different elements to the work that they do. And I could carve this a little bit later when it gets a little work hardened. Right now it's pretty soft. And so in this stage I usually just wait until it gets a little drier. And the other nice part of this is that if you don't actually like the way those stones look in there, because they're not looking great to me. I mean, they look okay, but you know, I might just say, I'm not really a fan of how that turned out, so I'm going to go ahead and start over. And you have enough time right now to go ahead and change your mind and start over if you don't like the way that that's turning out, or it's not the design that you had hoped for. It has a lot of flexibility in being able to redo things. So that's just an early stage idea and a very quick preview of what a beginning class in metal clay can look like. And yeah, I have a class coming up on Saturday. I do have 2 more spots available. If you want to reach me, you can find my information on the Facebook page, and I'll also post this maybe in an email out to my students. So anyway, thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.